All right, what is up, guys? So I'm going to be doing a 21-day water only fast. Well, I'm in the middle of it now. I'm almost 24 hours into this fast. And so water only, what that means is it's pretty self-explanatory, but no food for 21 days, just drinking water. That's it. Um, and I've set some other rules in place as well that I want to sort of try to adhere to. But first, I want to kind of explain why I'm doing this. So every year, my church does a 21-day fast twice a year. So they do it at the very beginning of the year, so the beginning of January, and then they do it in August, halfway through the year. And my pastor's been doing this for years. He does it every time. He does the 21 days water only every time. And he encourages everyone to try to fast something. Like maybe it's social media, or maybe it's like processed foods or sugars. In past years, I don't know why I never did it. I was just like, oh, I don't know. I don't really feel like fasting. And I was just like, I don't know. I think I might have been scared of it because I'm the type of person where it's like, if I'm going to fast something, I'm not just going to give up, watching Netflix, like I can't watch Better Call Saul for 21 days or something like that. Like I'm going to go all in. I'm going to fast all food and just drink water. And I think that scared me a little bit, and so I just didn't want to do it. But the last few months, I knew that this 21-day fast was coming up, and I was like, I don't know, maybe it was probably God. It was definitely God, just like kind of pressing in on me, telling me to do it. And I just had this desire to, I could do this. I could do 21 days. I am the type of person who can do it. I know myself, and more importantly, I know God, and I know that God will get me through this fast, especially if he's the one calling me into it. And real quick, if you guys are wondering why Christians fast, like what's even the point of fasting, you have your spirit and you have your physical body, which we call our flesh. And it's basically a time where we are rejecting our fleshly desires. Not that eating is a sinful desire, but it is like a carnal desire. It's a desire of our just physical body. And in doing so, we actually strengthen our spirit, and our spirit becomes more sensitive to hearing God. And don't get confused. This isn't like some sort of act of penance where it's like, that's where Catholics will like punish themselves. I don't know if it's just Catholics or if it even is Catholics. I'm pretty sure it is though. But they'll sort of punish themselves and inflict sort of like pain on themselves as a sort of repentance for having done wrong. That's not what this is at all. It's not where we're like punishing ourselves to prove to God, like, oh, we were so bad here, let's hurt ourselves. It's more of like, oh, God, I'm willing to give this up to be closer to you and to hear you more clearly, if that makes sense. So you're much more sensitive to God's voice, and you feel closer to God in a way that you can't really get when you're eating food. When I say that, it sounds kind of like Islamic. That sounds like something like Muslims would do. And I think they do fast, actually. So maybe they are kind of locked in with that. They're just not locked in with God, like the real God. So the rules I'm going to be following for this fast are water only for 21 days, no food. That's like the diet aspect of it. And then I'm going to be doing no social media as well. So no Instagram, no TikTok, no reels for 21 days. That might be the hardest part of this whole thing, honestly. No casual YouTube enjoying. I can't just like watch like a casual YouTube video. I have to like, if I'm watching something on YouTube, it has to be like educational or like something about like theology or something that has to do with like what I'm reading. That's the social media aspect. No like fun movies or any movies at all for that matter. No movies, no TV shows. I'm going straight monk mode. It's just like I'm going to be going on walks. I'm going to be reading books. I'm going to be doing a lot of reading my Bible, a lot of praying, maybe some arts and crafts. That's not off limits. I could maybe paint something cool, but I can't watch Bob Ross, so maybe I won't paint anything because I'm not a very good painter. I don't know, maybe I'll like whittle a spoon or something out of like a piece of wood I find outside. Oh yeah, and I can't smoke any cigarettes. Not that I really like smoke a whole lot of cigarettes now. Cigarettes would be cheating because they're like an appetite suppressant. And so they make you not feel as hungry. So I feel like that'd be cheating. The whole point is to like feel the hunger and like rely on God. And also it feels a little ironic to be doing like this like crazy water only fast and then also just like ripping cigarettes. Like that doesn't sound like it makes a whole lot of sense to me. Not that I like really smoke that like cigarettes that much anyway. I enjoy like the occasional cigarette. I don't think there's anything wrong with that. Yeah, no cigarettes for 21 days. And I'm gonna be completely honest with you guys because I am 24 hours into this fast already. It's day one. The last time I ate was about 24 hours ago. I did smoke a cigarette today before I made this rule. And like while I was smoking the cigarette, I was just sitting outside smoking it, and I was just thinking, this feels like weird. This feels wrong. Like, I should probably not smoke cigarettes for 21 days. And so I have done a water only fast before. I've did it when I first got saved, when I first became a Christian. I did 7 days of water only, and that kind of scared me a little bit, honestly. It was really hard. It was really difficult. I had like just became a Christian, and I was watching some like YouTube video or something, and this guy was talking about fasting, and it was super interesting, and he was talking about all the benefits to it. He made it sound really appealing, which it is, and it was, but he named all these benefits, and I was just like, okay, wait, I want to do that. That sounds fire. And so literally the next day I jumped straight into this water only fast for 7 days. And the interesting thing about that fast is, I still had like a copious amounts of drugs in my system, because before I got saved, before I became a Christian, I was just doing a bunch of drugs. And so I had all these drugs in my system. And so through that fast, I sort of like was detoxing my body, and it was gnarly. Like, it was pretty bad, like especially the first few days of any fast, no matter if you're a super healthy person who's never done drugs, or if you're like a complete drug addict. The first few days are pretty hard. But yeah, it was extra difficult for me, because I was just detoxing from drugs, and my body was just like sweating out all these drugs, and it was really, really gnarly. But I want to sort of put out my predictions for, I think, how I'm going to feel during this fast based on the 7 days that I had already fasted like 5 years ago. First of all, the first 3 days are by far the hardest. They're super hard. They're terrible. The hunger pains are like at an all-time high. You're really craving food. Your body feels like it just really needs food. And that's the first 3 days. And then your body's kind of like this little crying child that's like crying and crying. You know, when a baby, this is a good example. You know, when like a baby is like a newborn, and they're always crying when they are like when you put them to sleep, they start crying. And then you go in there and you pick them up, and you hold them and rock them and stuff, and then they stop crying, and then you put them back to bed, and they go to sleep for another few hours until they start crying again. And then the same cycle. You go in and you hold them and rock them, and then there comes a time where they start crying, and you just don't pick them up anymore. You have to let them cry it out. So you put them to bed, they start crying, and they expect you to come and rock them, but there's no parent in sight. You don't go in there, you don't hold them or anything. You just let them cry it out and cry it out and cry it out until eventually they just learn. They learn that, oh, I'm not going to get rocked anymore. Not rocked as in getting like punched in the face, but like cradled and like cooed back to bed. Not cooed. What's the word I'm looking for? Like shaken, but not in like a baby shaking way. You know, when people shake babies and they go to jail? I'm talking about like when you hold a baby and you slowly like swing them back and forth in a gentle manner to like put them to sleep. That sort of rocking. And no one's going to be there to do that anymore. And so then they just learn that, and they learn how to just go to sleep on their own. And that's kind of what it's like the first 3 days of your fast. Is you're like this baby who's expecting to be rocked, metaphorically, in the sense where like your body is expecting food when it's feeling hungry, right? And so for the first 3 days, it's tripping out. It's like, where's this food? Where's my food? Where's my food? And then after about 3 days, your body kind of learns like, oh, okay, we're not getting any food. And then certain things start shutting down, like your stomach shuts down, like your body just starts feeling different, and it stops sending the certain signals to your brain of like, oh, we need food in this sort of like manner. Like it feels different, and it feels sort of chilled out a little bit. So that's the first thing. I remember during my 7-day fast, something that was really interesting is I had way less energy. Like my body felt like I couldn't run very far. Like I couldn't like move around for long periods of time. But my mind was like very energized. Like I remember my mind just being on, and like had like laser sharp focus. I was just sharp, and the brain fog was completely gone. Like you don't even realize how much brain fog you have until it goes away, and then you realize, oh shoot, I naturally operate with a lot of brain fog. That was just gone. And then I remember not ever really being tired. Like I remember, like, okay, I'll explain it this way, because I was tired all the time, but in the same way I was never actually like super tired. When like you're in class or you're driving and you're really sleepy, and it's so hard to keep your eyes open, and your eyes are constantly like closing, and like you're fighting that feeling of sleeping. That never happens. Like you never get to that point of tiredness where you feel like you're just going to fall asleep. You always feel awake, and it's not hard to stay awake. But the way I'll describe it is like, if I wanted to go to sleep, if I wanted to lay down and close my eyes, I would fall asleep instantly. You have no trouble sleeping when you want to sleep, and you really don't have any trouble staying awake when you want to stay awake. I don't know why. Some scientist out there could probably explain that to me. So that's a cool thing that happens on like day 4 or 5. Also, I'll probably sleep a lot less. When I did the 7-day fast, I remember I would sleep for like 4 or 5 hours. I think your body only needs like 4 or 5 hours to sort of like recharge your mind. I think like the whole sleeping for 7 hours or 8 hours myth. I don't think it's a myth. I think what it is your body needs extra sleep when it's digesting food, and when you're putting your body through a lot more work when you're digesting food throughout the night. And so it needs more time to recover because your body's not digesting anything. You're just sort of recharging your mind. You only need a couple hours. Like I would go to bed at 12 and wake up at like 5. Like I would have to try really hard to sleep till 5 because I would just be like wide awake, and I would just wake up and you don't feel any tiredness. It's so strange. It's like, you know, when you like wake up in the morning, your alarm goes off and it's like a drag getting out of bed, and like you're fighting to stay awake. Like you're like fighting to even like wake up. And your body just wants to go back to sleep. Like that's just gone. You don't really experience that anymore. When you're awake, you're awake, and when you're asleep, you're asleep. There's really no fighting any of that. A weird thing I did remember from that 7-day fast is I remember my breath would smell really bad all the time. Like I would brush my teeth like a normal person, like once every few days, right? No, I'm just kidding, guys. I brushed it like twice a day, and my breath just smelled bad, which is weird. You would think it wouldn't smell bad because you're not eating any food, but for some reason, maybe it didn't actually smell bad to other people. Maybe it just tasted bad in my mouth. I don't know what it was, but oh, and then also the really trippy thing is you get to a point where you just stop pooping. Like I remember like after like 3 days, I just didn't poop until I like ate food again. Maybe I did like a little bit. I'm trying to think because I don't think there's anything for your body to poop out. So it's like, it doesn't need to poop. No, I think I did go like 5 days. I just didn't have to poop, or like 4 days. So for 21 days, oh man, I don't even know. Like not pooping for 21 days. I don't even know if I'm going to like, does your butthole just close up eventually and it doesn't open anymore? Like that's actually a pretty big concern of mine, that my butthole never opens up again. But we'll cross that bridge when we get there. Okay, so technically, I mean, I am 24 hours into this fast, so I do want to update you guys on what I'm feeling now. I am hungry. I mean, obviously, like I'm really hungry. I really want food. Anytime people talk about food, it's like, oh man, like that sounds good. I want food. But it's not as bad as it's going to be tomorrow and the third day. I know that. I know it's going to get a lot worse. Right now, I'm just sort of like, you know, when you don't eat and your blood sugar is like really low and you get kind of shaky. That's how I'm feeling right now, like a little bit shaky. And then I've had a consistent headache all day since this morning, but I don't know if it's because of the lack of food. I think a better guess would be the fact that I haven't had any caffeine or like coffee or energy drinks, anything like that. Like I'm just straight up on water right now. And so I think my body's probably addicted to caffeine. And I think what's happening is I'm probably withdrawing from the caffeine a little bit. Yeah, I mean, I'm just like, I'm feeling a little bit nervous for the fast. I think 21 days is a really long time. I don't even know what I was doing 21 days ago. Like, wow, 21 days ago was a week before Christmas, and that feels like an eternity ago. That feels like so long ago. So that doesn't make me feel any better. I mean, nothing really exciting as of day one, just kind of headache, and hungry. Obviously, it's like that's pretty boring. Oh, also food's gonna taste so much better when I'm off the fast. I already know. I think, well, the thing that sucks is when you first come off your fast, you're not allowed to eat anything fun. You have to like slowly ease your body into food, and you like drink like chicken broth with like small vegetables in it, like you're like a rabbit or something. So that's not gonna be super fun, but I'm sure by day 21 I'm gonna be super stoked on that chicken broth. I'll tell you that much. Honestly, chicken broth sounds pretty good right now. I'm pretty hungry. Yeah, and then like my dopamine's gonna be completely reset too, because I'm not like scrolling reels. That feels like a breakup more than losing the food. Like losing Instagram reels, that actually does feel like a breakup. Like I'm like itching to like cop a scroll, man. Like can I just bum a scroll, man? Just one scroll, man. Can I just bum a scroll? That's how I feel. I'm fiending for a scroll on Instagram reels. I'm gonna be so unlocked with like the freaking memes, bro. I'm not gonna know what anyone's talking about, bro. The last major meme that I remember before going into this 21-day fast is 6'7", bro. That's pretty sad. That's gonna be like the last remembrance of memes that I have is 6'7". Let that sink in. No, let it in, bro. Let this sink in. All right. Anyway, guys, I'm probably starting to enter the delusional stage of the fast. I think the lack of eating is getting to my head already. All right, I'm gonna update you guys in the next few days. I think I'm gonna do like every few days I'll update you guys, because no one wants to see this every day. All right, thanks for watching, guys.